Welcome back to the Run Radio podcast. My name's Trina, and my guest today on the Artist Spotlight is Ian Gosbee. Welcome.
Good morning or good day.
Yeah.
How are
Yeah,
you?
we've got the time zone thing that we are
Yeah.
battling against, but thank you for being here. So you just said before we started that you've got 6 albums done. That is a lot to put out. How do you get all this inspiration for so much music?
Well, that's a good question. I guess it's always been in me. The first three albums were recorded uh, within a span of 3 months, and I released them in under a year. Looking back on it, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just, now I kind of squirrel things away. I kind of like record a song and just shelve it for a while. But no, this new album, it was during the lockdown, so it's a lot of, I had 130 songs written, and I cut nine, so lots more to come.
What what is it for you that you look for when you're making cuts?
That's a good question. Like, I like all genres of music, so that's, I guess, when you listen to my catalog, it's like a variety of different things, right? It's not just rock or country. It's just a mixture of everything. So sometimes that can be hard to package an album together as here's a rock album, here's a country album, or a folk album. So it's one day I'll wake up and just want to record like I was talking to my father, and he said have a little fun with it. And he grew up on the bluegrass and traditional Celtic type music, so I kind of get that flair as a nod to him. But I didn't want to do a whole country album per se. It's where uh I'll have an idea and I'll go in the studio and it might come out completely different. But yeah, it's all fun.
One of the common threads that I notice among independent musicians is that ability to kind of play with the genres and not force themselves into a particular country, rock, all of that. What else do you like and empowers you about being an independent artist?
Well, you have like I was signed years ago to a label out in Vancouver, and you didn't really have control of like where they licensing your music, for example, like commercially on uh, television or streaming platforms. So that was an endeavor where I wasn't happy with. So I took that back and this became more of an independent artist, um, which you see more now is more people want more control of where their music's going and the type of music they're recording and producing, right? It's part of your personality too, right? I tried country and some country I like, but I'm not a full-fledged country artist. Like I
Mhm.
don't know, you know, a lot of country artists. So no, it's just good. People call me crossover, so it's good to someone will be more of an AC/DC fan and they'll go, oh, I'll record a song that's kind of rocky, but then the next song might go over and then go, oh, that's not really rocky, but it's still good. All the songs are written acoustically, so you can have that ability to go in either lane of genre, right? So
What and when was your first instrument that you picked up?
I was about 7 years old and it was classical violin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was playing a
Interesting.
lot of Tchaikovsky and that type of music. Being seven, it was very boring.
Oh,
And
so
I
you
had a
weren't asking your parents to play the violin? Was it more of here's a violin?
here's a violin, yeah. And the fiddle would have probably been more fun. But I had a brother that he was there's quite an age gap. He's 9 years older than me, and he played drums and he was in a rock band. And being a 7 year old watching that, like, wow, he's making a lot more noise than a
Right.
violin playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So then that's where I switched over to drums. And then my mother was a music teacher, so there was a piano, and my father played the bagpipes. So always learning those type of instruments too, right? So
So has
guitars
music
lately.
always been your main career, or have you had other passions or interests that supported that?
Well, I'm a technology person, so
Ah,
with that, I mean, with things being recorded now in a studio, they're all emulating like analog tones. So I'll have I think the Ray of Sunshine song, I had a guitar solo, and the guy, John Murphy, records me. He goes, all your solos sound like Bon Jovi, like that sound. I'm like, okay, so going through all the thousands of different guitar amps and that I said, okay, I'll do Slash from Guns N' Roses. And I don't know. I always laugh when I hear the solo, thinking of that, going through those thousands of emulators and plugins. It's fun, but at the same time, it gets a little bit overwhelming. It's like, oh, I like that, but I like this tone, I like that tone, but I let him do all that stuff. I'd be lost in that world of engineering, is what it's called.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you collaborate with certain pieces of it. You're not doing every single thing start to finish.
Um, Instrument wise, yes. I'll go in, I'll record what's called a scratch track. So it's just a guitar, and he'll have I don't want to hear a click like beep, beep, beep. I want to hear like a little drum beat. So we'll get the drum machine on, and here's how fast the drum or the guitar is playing. So I'll follow along to that beat, and that might change the song a little just because I can't dial into I guess the drums until I lay it down, and then it becomes a little bit different. But some of the songs I'll record at home too, like the keyboards, because I have all that stuff here. So then I'll bring it into them.
Do you do a lot of live performances?
I I have. I mean, I used to do over 218 shows a
Oh my
year.
goodness.
Um, that has slowed down a bit. Now I have a family, so it's kind of, that takes more priority than going out.
Hmm.
Um, I'm more with the age, I'm more selective, and I
Hmm.
guess with the brand, you don't have to play everything now. You just kind of play like the bigger shows. So that's what I like. Yeah.
When it comes to having a, an idea for a song or even lyrics, things like that, what's your process like? Is it write it down immediately, or do you have dedicated time that you spend on that? What's it like?
If like my father, for example, with one of the songs, he threw a phrase. So I'm like, I got to remember that phrase. So I'll literally just talk into my phone to record that.
Mhm.
And then middle of the night, like 12 o'clock, it's when I only have time to do stuff. That's when I'll start writing lyrics. I usually write the lyrics first, and then I'll grab a electric guitar, but I can't plug in because I'll wake everyone up. And then I'll just start like, okay, here's the chord progression with the lyrics. Sometimes I get stuck, like I have lyrics and I can't figure out the key it should be in. So,
Yeah.
but no, it all comes together. But usually lyrics are always the main thing. Lyrics,
So
keyboards, or acoustic guitar.
your album that's out right now, Ray of Sunshine, tell me a little bit about it, like the whole premise behind it.
Well, my wife goes because we have a newborn, and I was just tired and grumpy, and she goes, "Aren't you a ray of sunshine?" And I'm like, "There's the phrase, right?" So,
Yeah.
and it was during lockdown and a lot of negativity and doom and gloom. So I wanted to write something very positive and uplifting. So that was the premise of the album. It was kind of like, let's forget about all your worries. Let's just kind of record a song that's happy and get you in a good spirit, good mood. So
Did it work?
I like a lot of the songs, and I'm not just tooting my boat or anything. It's like, yeah, some of the songs are good. It's very autobiography.
Hmm.
One of the songs is written about my mother who passed away, who was a Highland dancer who taught the piano and everything. So that was kind of a, there's some bagpipes layered onto there, and the next song was about you go through that process of grieving, and then the next song is called "Make You Stronger." So that's, if it's not a concept album, but it's very autobiography in a way. I can relate to all the songs. So
Did you have any songs come up that you liked but weren't fitting for the theme of this of Ray of Sunshine and you decided to hold and keep for another one?
yeah, I have a blues song
Oh,
called
neat.
"Troublemaker." I do have it posted on Reverb Nation. But yeah, that would probably be the next album. No, had an aunt say, "You don't have any blues music." And I'm like, "I don't. Let's try it." So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I
Exciting.
might do a blues album next. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you put a lot of pressure on yourself or is it very just what comes comes?
Yeah, I used to in the younger days. The three albums
Yeah.
released under a year was like, oh, here's a country folk album. Here's a rock album with
Yeah.
some DJ elements with beats. And then the last one, which is the one I could really focus on, won some awards. And it was, I kind of call it a poppy album because it has
Yeah.
keyboard in it. But that was the one I could really spend the most time promoting.
Neat.
But after that, it was like, because it won a bunch of awards up here, like the CBC award and the National Music Store award here in Canada. Um, so the next album, I think I put out I guess it was kind of like they call it a maritime sound. So it's got like fiddles in it and just more acoustic arrangements and about I don't know, it was about an East Coast road trip. It's like coming down from Toronto, going to the East Coast, and East Coast is very much like fishermen and that sort of thing,
Hmm.
and small community. So it was, yeah, it's kind of like a different turn. I didn't stay on the path of pop. It was like, let's do something else.
Do you feel like you might go back to that again?
Well, the Ray of Sunshine is, to me, is it's an uplifting. I wouldn't say a pop album. It's not like Taylor Swift or something, but
Hmm.
Um, it fits in the line of what I've been doing with the last album, Life is Good, and then the other one that won the awards called Life Gets in the Way. It very much has that keyboard element to it. So to me, I call that pop,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So since family seems very musical, generational, do you think you see your
mm,
kids probably picking up
oh
music
yeah,
and doing that too, or already maybe?
oh, yeah, yeah. You got ukuleles.
Uh-huh.
So I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, boy and a girl. Yeah, this out of the blue, he'll just get down on a drum kit and just, I'm like, where did he see that from? And then yeah, and she'll play the keyboard, and they
Oh,
both have
fun.
ukuleles, and there's an interest there. They want a guitar. I'm gonna put him in guitar lessons, and he might have some homework from me. Who knows?
There you go. Sounds
Yeah.
good. What are some things about being an independent musician that you've learned that you could share with someone either in the middle of their journey or just starting out on their journey?
Well, being an independent, you're pretty much you have a lot of hats. You're
Hmm.
doing you're writing the music, you're trying to promote the music, you're trying to book shows. So it's a lot of work. You gotta nowadays reach out to influencers and just try to, kind of see where the market is. Like you don't want to fall under like, oh, here's everyone's doing hip hop music. But that's not me. I can't really do that. Um, no, I just say it's a lot of work. It's a lot of if you want to do it as a full career, um, really now with streaming, you have to go out and apply live performances to make an income. Um, merchandise, you got to get a graphic artist unless you can do it yourself. So yeah, it is a lot of work. Always stay positive. You meet folks, don't you'll get a lot of no's before someone says yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, just stay strong, stay true to yourself, really.
Thanks for sharing a little bit about it. And we hope you come back when you've got that blues album or whatever your next album is going to be. Tell people where they can go to keep up with you and get Ray of Sunshine.
You can just go to my website. It's iangosbee.com.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.